Okay, so what we're doing next is Chapter 8. Chapter 8, test yourself on algebra, okay? So the first question is solve the equation x squared minus 2x minus 35. So first and foremost what you do is you multiply the first number, the number 1 by minus 35, and you get a reference number of 35, of minus 35. You now got to think of factors of 35 that multiply together to give you minus 35, but when you add them together to give you minus 2. So if you try 7 and 5, you can see that minus 2 is minus 7 plus 5. So what you can do is you can open up your two brackets like so, and you can say that it's going to be x minus 7, x plus 5. This will equal 0. Now these are two numbers being multiplied by each other. There's a number in the first bracket and a number in the second bracket, and the answer is 0. So this either means the first number equals 0 or the second number equals 0. So this means that x is equal to 7 or x is equal to minus 5. Okay, so that's the answer to the first part. Now, next part. Given that x squared plus y squared plus z squared is 29, find two possible values of y when x equals 2 and z equals minus 3. So what we can get here is we can replace x with 2 squared, keep y squared the way it is, and z squared is going to be minus 3 squared equals 29. Put into the calculator, what we get is 4 plus y squared plus 9 equals 29. And what we get is y squared plus 13 equals 29. So what we can get next is y squared, bring over the 13 over the other side, y squared equals 29 minus 13, which is 16. Now remember, what y squared equals 16 means what number when you multiply it by itself is 16, okay? So what we do here is just press the square root button, so square root of 16 to find out what this number is, and the answer is 4. But what you also have to remember about this is it's actually 4 and minus 4, because minus 4 multiplied by minus 4 is also 16. So just bear that in mind. Okay, next question. The length of a rectangle is x plus 4 centimeters. The width is x minus 3 centimeters. The area of the rectangle is 78 centimeters squared. Use this information to write an equation in x. What area equals length multiplied by width. So let x plus 4 be the length, x minus 3 be the width. So what we get is x plus 4 and x minus 3. And that all equals 78. So what we're going to do next is we're going to use this information to write down an equation in x. That's it done there. Now what we can do next is we can multiply it out. So it's first number times second bracket. And then second number multiplied by second bracket. And bring the 78 over the other side. And this will all equal 0. So what we can get next is the following. We can get x squared minus 3x plus 4x minus 12 minus 78 equals 0. So what we can get now is x squared plus 1x minus 90 equals 0. Now the reference number is going to be 1 multiplied by minus 90. So the reference number is going to be minus 90. Now we got to break this up into its factors, okay? So we can try 9 and 10. Now we need plus 1, so we need plus 10 minus 9. So what we're going to get here is x plus 10, x minus 9 equals 0. So like last time, either the first number equals 0 or the second number equals 0. So either x plus 10 equals 0, so x is equal to minus 10, or x minus 9 equals 0 and x will equal 9. Now the problem with this is x is a length, okay? So it says find the value of x, not the values. So this means that this one here is wrong because x can't be a minus length. So the correct answer is 9 centimeters. Okay, solve the equation 3x squared plus 10x equals 8. Bring the 8 over to your side and we got is 3x squared plus 10x minus 8 equals 0. The reference number for this one is minus 24. And this is a longer equation this time because it doesn't have 1x squared anymore. It's now 3x squared. So what two numbers? We could try 6 and 4, or maybe 12 and 2. Now, plus 6 plus 4 makes plus 10. But when you multiply plus 6 by plus 4, you get 24, not minus 24. So the correct answer is plus 12 minus 2. So just bear that in mind, okay? So this is the correct answer here. Now what we do next is we separate the 10x into plus 12x minus 2x. Okay? And it's still the same as it was before. Now what we can do is we can factorize. So we can take out x and 3. So 3x into, it's going to be x plus 4. We know the second bracket has to be the same. So what number multiplies by x to give you minus 2x? And the answer is minus 2. Just check this to make sure that you've gotten the right answer. So 3x by x is 3x squared, 3x by 4 is 12x, minus 2 by x is minus 2x, and minus 2 by 4 is minus 8. So we know we're correct. Now to wrap up this, what we can say next is 3x minus 2 into x plus 4 equals 0. So the two answers we're going to have are the following. We're going to have 3x minus 2 equals 0. Bring over the 2. 3x equals 2. Bring down the 3. X equals 2 over 3. The next one we bring over the 4. So we're going to get x equals minus 4. So here's our two answers here. Okay. Solve the equation 2x squared minus 7x plus 4, given your answers correct to two decimal places. Anytime you see two decimal places, this indicates that you can't do this equation using the reference number. And yet what you have to do is you have to use the minus b formula, okay? Now what the minus b formula states is, when you have a formula ax squared plus bx plus c, to solve this equation, you can say that x equals minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now we have to find out what each one is. A is 2. This comes in front. B is minus 7. And this will make minus b equal to plus 7. And c equals 4. So we're going to put these into our equation. So what we can get is plus 7 plus or minus the square root of 7 squared, or b squared, which is minus 7 squared, minus 4 times 2 times 4, all over 2 times 2. Now what we can do with the calculator is we can just do this part here all in one swoop. So we take out the calculator, and what we do is we press the square root. Now please use your brackets. To get this right, you gotta use your brackets, okay? Minus 7 squared minus 4, bracket 2, bracket 4. And what we get is root 17. And when we change root 17 to, we just leave it as root 17 for a minute. So we're going to get 7 plus or minus root 17 all over 4. Okay? Because 2 by 2 is 4. Now, this breaks up into two different types of questions. See the plus or minus? This means 7 plus root 17 over 4 is one answer. Or 7 minus root 17 all over 4 is the second answer. Now, we're just going to let our calculator do all the work for us, okay? So we're going to get 7 over 4. Just make sure it looks exactly as it's done on the board there. So it's going to look, the answer is going to be 2.78. And how many decimal points does it want it to? To 2 decimal places, so 2.78. Now we need to get the minus version. So all what we need to do here is just go up and change it to a minus. And this answer is going to be 0.72. Okay, so 0.72. Okay. Okay guys, we're on the next part now. The length of a rectangle is 4 centimeters more than its width. The area of the rectangle is 96 centimeters squared. Write an equation and solve it to find the length of the width. So we have a rectangle. Okay, so the rectangle can be like this. And what we can say is that if it's 4, let the width be equal to x. And if the length is 4 centimeters more than the width, that makes x plus 4. Area is length multiplied by width. The width is x and the length is x plus 4. So the area, which is 96, is equal to length by width. So width multiplied by length equals 96. Multiply it out, bring the 96 over the other side, and what we're going to get is x squared plus 4x minus 96 equals 0. The reference number for this one is going to be minus 96. Going to break it up into numbers, so we can try the numbers 8 and 12 is a good one to use. So it's going to be plus 12 minus 8 to get the plus 4 in the middle. So what we're going to get is x minus 8, x plus 12 equals 0, x plus 12 equals 0, x equals minus 12. It can't be minus 12 because it's a negative answer. Length can only ever be positive. Bring it over to 8. X equals 8 centimeters. That's the correct answer, and this one here is the wrong answer. So solve it and find the value of the length and the width. Well, the width is 8 because width equals 8 centimeters, and the length is 4 more. So the length equals 12 centimeters. Okay, next question. If x equals 2 is a root of the equation x squared minus x plus r, find the value of r. Now, to show you what a root is, we might just look at the last equation we did, okay? So the last equation we did was this one here, where we got x squared plus 4x minus 96, and we said the answer was x equals 8. Okay, so this is nothing to do with the question we're being asked. I'm just going to show you what a root is. Roots, when you replace x with 8, what should happen is it should balance the equation. That's what roots do. They balance the equation. So what we end up getting is 64 plus 32 minus 96 equals 0. The two of these added together is 96. 96 minus 96 equals 0. 0 equals 0. So if you put a root back into the original equation, it should balance. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace x with 2. So we're going to get 2 squared minus 2 plus r equals 0. Then we can find out what r is. 4 minus 2 plus r equals 0. 2 plus r equals 0. Bring the 2 over the other side. R must equal minus 2. Now, the next one. The roots of a quadratic equation are minus 2 and 3. Write down an equation in x which has these two roots. This is basically going backwards. Okay, so we start off at the start. So at the end, I mean. So x equals minus 2, x equals 3. This is what roots means. It means the answers. Go a step backwards, and what we end up with is x plus 2 equals 0, and x minus 3 equals 0. Multiply these two numbers by each other, and you'll get the starts of the quadratic equation. Now we're going to multiply them out. So we're going to get x times x minus 3 plus 2 into x minus 3 equals 0. Let's multiply them out. We get x squared minus 3x plus 2x minus 6 equals 0. And then finally, x squared. Two of these together is minus 3 plus 2 is minus 1x. Minus 1x minus 6 equals 0. That is our quadratic equation right there. Next one. The diagram shows a shape in which all the corners are right angles. The area of the shape is 48. So the area of this is 48. So if I was to cut this here in half, we have two areas that are 48. Form an equation in terms of x for the area of the shape. Show that the equation can be simplified into x squared plus x minus 12 equals 0. So look, what we actually have in effect is two rectangles. The first rectangle here and the second rectangle here. We're just going to separate them out for a second. Okay. Now the first rectangle is 2x by 2x. In fact, it's actually a square. The second one is 4 by x. Now remember, area equals length multiplied by width. So the area of rectangle A, or sorry, square A and rectangle B. So the area of A equals 2x by 2x. This gives us 4x squared. The area of B equals 4 multiplied by x, which is 4x. Now, we know that the area of the full shape is 48 centimeters squared. This will mean that 4x squared plus 4x equals 48. Bring the 48 over the other side, we get 4x squared plus 4x minus 48 equals 0. Now, you'll notice that all the numbers can be divided by 4. We can divide 4 on both sides, because 0 divided by 4 is still 0. So we're going to divide by 4, and what we get is x squared plus 1x minus 12. The reference number for this question is minus 12, because it's going to be 1 by minus 12. So the reference number is minus 12. So what we're going to get here is two numbers that multiply together to give you minus 12, but add together to give you plus 1. So that's going to be 4 and minus 3. So we're going to get x plus 4, x minus 3 equals 0. X plus 4 equals 0. X minus 3 equals 0. Bring the 3 out the other side, we get x equals 3. Bring the 4 out the other side and we get x equals minus 4. The correct answer is x equals 3 because, once again, length cannot be negative. So it's 3 centimeters. Okay, so we found our equation, we did it, and then we solved our equation, we done that. Hence calculate the perimeter of the shape. We know that x equals 3. So what we can do now is we can just go back to the top, and this is going to be 2 times 3, and 2 times 3 is 6. So this is going to be 6, this is going to be 6, this area from here to here is 6, this area from here to here is 3, this area from here to here is 4, and this is 3. So all that we got to do is add them up together and figure out what is the area. So we're going to get 6 plus 3 plus 4 plus the other 3 plus the other 6. 6 plus 3 plus 4 plus 3 plus 6 plus the other 6, and the perimeter is going to be 28 centimeters. Okay, because the perimeter is when you travel around the full outer area. It's basically doing a lap of the area. Okay, so that concludes the end of the first video.